I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from Plymouth. And it's about the 5 people that lost their lives at the hands of a gunman, who I will no longer name on the channel. I believe I've named him twice in previous videos, but any other coverage I will not say his name. Due to the fact that the gunman killed himself afterwards, there is no trial that will go on. Nobody will get any justice in that sense. So what is happening now is that they've opened an inquiry. And on the first day of the inquiry, they have released details and information about what happened on that fateful day. The court has heard that it was a 12-minute rampage, and the 22-year-old killed 5 people, and one of them was a 3-year-old girl. The weapon has now been confirmed as a shotgun, and he went on then to take his own life. The inquests into the deaths of the Davisons family have now formally been opened, with police providing evidence about the circumstances of the killing. All 5 victims they heard in court died from shotgun wounds. Police are not looking for any other people in connection with the deaths. The results of the toxicology tests, which look for traces of drugs in the victim's body and history of drugs, are still pending. The gunman's mother, Maxine Davison, was a former trawler, and she died at her home in Biddick Drive in the Kiam area of Plymouth. The circumstances of Maxine's death are that she sustained fatal gunshot wounds after an argument with her son. Detective Steve Hambly told the court the medical cause of her death, based on current evidence, was shotgun wounds to the head and torso. None of the other victims knew the gunman, the inquest was told. The other victims were 3-year-old Sophie Martyn and her father Lee, 43 years old. They were just walking their dog in Biddick Drive at the time when he came outside and killed them. They were shot in the head, and Mr. Martyn also was shot in the chest. The gunman then went to a nearby park where he killed Stephen Washington, 59 years old, while he was walking his dogs. Mr. Washington was a carer for his wife, and he died from a gunshot wound to his chest. The final victim was Kate Shepherd. She was a 66-year-old married artist, and she was fatally shot in the abdomen on Henderson Close moments later. She survived initially but died later on in Derriford Hospital. So my condolences to the family of Stephen and Kate, and this is the first time that we've identified them two with a picture. This is the information that has been heard so far by the coroner's court, and more information will be heard again on the 9th of December. This started over an argument with his mother. Prayers were held in the city as people gathered for a vigil for the victims of the attack. This occurred at St Thomas Church in Kiam, and later on Sunday the Home Office announced that they would be reviewing firearm applications in light of the attack and whether any existing licences need to be revisited and potentially taken away. And they also mentioned about social media checks on future applications, and this is due to, as I've covered in previous videos, the gunman regularly was on social media documenting his dislike of his mother and women, and also speaking about being an incel. And in other coverage, I didn't actually explain very well anyway what an incel was. And an incel is somebody that is involuntarily celibate. This may seem a bit extreme, but there's some people that have gone a long time without sex and they really, really do need it. And this isn't by choice, and they haven't even been able to date. In one example, the gunman said that he couldn't even get a match on Tinder. And there has been several examples of attacks as well, where their motivations were the hatred of women, which is a fundamental aspect of being an incel. A lot of people were saying this should have been classed as a terrorist attack, but detectives investigating have said that the gunman's links to the incel movement were a motive for killing 5 people, including a child. Devon and Cornwall Police said the decision was taken by the National Counter-Terrorism Policing Network to not prioritise it as a terrorist attack. In a statement on Monday, the force said that the decision that this incident was not a terrorist incident was not made by us. The status will be kept under review, and we are aware of the killer's interests and engagements with the incel movement. And they go on to say the definition of terrorism, as they know it, is the use or threat of action both in and outside of the United Kingdom designed to influence any international government organisation or intimidate the public, and also advancing a political, religious, radical, racial or ideological cause. The misogynistic ideology has amassed a following online among some men who feel they are oppressed by women due to the perceived lack of sexual interest. They believe there is at least 10,000 people in the UK with views similar to the gunman's. And this kind of extreme misogyny is the type that we've seen here, and in terms of the incel community, is incredibly dangerous towards women. So they believe in the future they may start to treat incel attacks as actual terrorist attacks. So really appreciate you joining me for this latest update, and I'll definitely keep you updated with any progression in the inquest. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow us online as well at Scarcity Studios, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.